Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and today I'm sitting in the living room on my leather couch, and I want to show you the first step in building a Mini Bowl Design Elite stove. The very first step to building one. That's the first step. And that can will be made into an Elite. Elite only takes one can, uses the bottom and the top. It's a very efficient design. Cheers. Now it's an overcast, snowy day. A little while ago it was snowing like crazy. It's about, what's the temperature?
33.
It's 33 degrees out. It's about 10:45 in the morning. Now, if you see the camera move, that's because Zeke's playing with my tripod. Only had 4 rotors today, so I went out this morning and got those going. Now, as near as I can tell, I had to make lids today. I had to make a bunch of lids. Lids have not surpassed my stoves as far as sales go, but one-on-one they certainly have surpassed my stoves. Financially, as far as income from them, they're probably 2/3 of the income from stoves. Give you an idea of the volume of lids I'm selling. It's really starting to open my eyes. I'm not sure why, but I guess my lids are the preferred lid. Either that or there's a whole bunch of them being sold everywhere else. I don't know. But it's a good thing. I like making lids. It's a lot of fun, and I have all the equipment in place to do it correctly. Now, just for grins and giggles and from lack of anything else to do, when you do videos every day, you run out of material. Somebody asked me, and I've done this before, but evidently not everybody saw it. They want to know where I got my name Tinny from. The answer to that is it came from Australia. When I first started selling stoves on eBay, and maybe by the time I got my first website, I was selling a whole bunch of stoves in Australia. I mean, really an eye-opener that far away. Sold a lot of stoves in Australia. And in the process of that, people started emailing me, and I emailed them back, and I started to know the people in Australia that were buying the stoves. Some of them were stove collectors, and some of them were mechanics and different things. And between the emails back and forth, they got to know me a little bit, and they started saying, you know, Tinny, the guy that makes the stoves out of alley cans. They call aluminum cans alley cans. Tinny, the guy that makes a stove out of alley cans. And that name stuck, Tinny. So it came from Australia. Now, let's go a little further. Where did the name Mini Bowl Design come? That's something I just made up? Not completely. The first successful stove I made was an open top side burner made out of 2 12-ounce cans. Had the it was pressed together and then had the aluminum tape around it, hold it together. That was way back in the day. Now that's an interesting story. The reason why I sold so many of those cans was when everybody else was polishing all the paint off of them and trying to make them look like they weren't made from a soda can, they theorized that they could get more money out of them if they didn't look like they were made out of a soda can. Obviously they were wrong. So I did just the opposite. I picked out the brightest colored cans with the best designs, and the inner wall that everybody else was reversing the aluminum, so they were using the back side of the inside of the can on the inner wall, so all you saw was shiny. I flipped it the other way, and I'd make like a Yoo-hoo soda can, and on the inside I'd flipped it the other way so that the Yoo-hoo graphics are on the inside. So when you looked inside it said Yoo-hoo also. And that's really where I got my start as far as selling people liked that design, and a lot of them would just put them on the coffee table for conversation piece. And people would email me and request a Pepsi or some other stove with it reversed inside like that with all the graphics. And that's one of the places that I got started from. But the very first one I made that worked correctly, that I really was happy with, I was really proud of, blossomed right out nice. One night I took it over to Stuart, one of my hiking buddies, and set it down on the table, and he said, of course nobody had seen alcohol stoves back then. It was nobody. Nobody around me had seen them. So what he said was, he looked at it and he said, "What's that?" And I said, "That's an alcohol stove to cook your dinner on." And he quiet for a while, and he finally looked back at it and said, "That's not a stove. That's just a piece of minimalist bullcrap." Obviously, he didn't say bullcrap. You know what he said. But anyway, he was kind of mad at me because he didn't like this ultralight backpacking craze because he was a heavy backpacker. Anyway, so I licked my wounds and slithered off into the night. When I got back over, it was at work. When I got back over in my group, I took the stove and turned it upside down, and there was a Sharpie marker there that we'd use for layout dye on these little parts, turn them black before we ground them. I picked it up and I started to write minimalist bullcrap on the bottom of the stove, but there wasn't room. You couldn't get it all in there. So I took some alcohol, put it on there, and wiped that off, and thought about it. I tried to abbreviate it down to, instead of minimalist, just mini. Instead of bullcrap, bull. Mini bull. So I went into the office, and Greg was in there, my supervisor, and I showed it to him. He got right on the internet. He's a comical guy. Typed in mini bull, and it came up. It was a guy that raised bulldogs, and he had the web name, the domain mini bull. So I said, well, how about mini bull design? He typed that in, and it wasn't taken. So I immediately registered the domain name Mini Bull Design, and that's where it came from. Interesting story, huh? Pretty near done with this, and I'm pretty near done with this video. I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike, take a friend, enjoy the great outdoors, and more important than anything, try to have some fun today, and try to have a really great day. Bye-bye.